Australia's southeast coast, Tasmania is an island home to some of the country's best nature and wildlife. I spent a few days road tripping Tasmania and I was blown away by the beauty of this place. One of the main reasons I wanted to come here was to visit Cradle Mountain. It's located in the Central Highlands of Tasmania and the area is part of Cradle Mountain Lake St. Clair National Park, and it's home to some of the most beautiful scenery in Tasmania. What really drew me to the area is the wombats. They're the cutest animals I've ever seen, and there was this place called Ronnie Creek where you could go on these raised walkways, and we saw at least 20 wombats. I mean, it was so peaceful to hear them munch on the grass. I mean, talk about nature ASMR. Now, another incredible place in Tasmania is Cape Way. Located on the Tasman Peninsula, Cape Way is home to some of the tallest sea cliffs in the southern hemisphere. You can reach it by a 10-kilometer hike, but we decided to take a boat tour out to Cape Way. It took us about an hour to get there, and the views along the way were amazing. Once we reached Cape Way, I was just amazed by the size of the rocks and sea cliffs, and it was such a spectacular area. After, we're going to head to the mainland to visit Western Australia. Before I came to Australia, I thought it would be feasible to road trip across the country in a day or two until I realized it was a 40-hour drive from Sydney. The 4-hour flight is definitely a faster option, but if you want to do a week or two road trip, it would be an incredible drive. Now, the capital of Western Australia is Perth, which is the 4th most populous city in the country. What I particularly liked about Western Australia is its coastline. The beaches are home to white sands, crystal clear waters, and kangaroos just chilling on the beaches. The area around Esperance is particularly beautiful. It's home to some of the whitest sand in Australia and the world. I mean, I can't believe the beauty of this place. Now, special thanks to my friend Earthwiz Tom for sharing his footage of Esperance. He makes great videos of Australia, and I'll link his channel in the description so you can check them out. One of my favorite beaches in Esperance is Twilight Beach. It's located 10 minutes outside the town of Esperance, and it has this massive rock just off the coast that is popular for some cliff jumping. Another beautiful place in the area is Cape Le Grand. It's a pristine coastline home to these untouched beaches, and maybe you'll see some kangaroos roaming around. After, we're going to head into Australia's center to visit the outback. And when you look at Australia from space, you'll notice that basically all the cities are on the coast, but the interior of the country is an orange, desolate landscape with hardly anyone living there, and that's the outback. The most iconic landmark in the outback is Uluru, or Ayers Rock. It's a massive monolith made up of sandstone. You can reach the area by flying into the nearby town of Ulara, or also by making the 4-hour drive from Alice Springs. Now, Uluru is a sacred site for the indigenous Australians, and it's believed to be a resting place for ancient spirits. There's definitely an energy there, and it's just bizarre how it sits alone in the desolate outback. Afterwards, we're going to head over to Brisbane. Located on the east coast, Brisbane was founded in 1824, and today it's the 3rd most populous city in Australia and the capital of Queensland. It's a beautiful city built on the Brisbane River and has an average of 260 days of sunshine per year. Just an hour from Brisbane is the Gold Coast, which is this incredible city with a huge beach contrasted with skyscrapers. If you want a more natural setting, you can embark to the Glasshouse Mountains. Located about an hour's drive from Brisbane, the Glasshouse Mountains are a group of 13 volcanic peaks. They are some of the most peculiar mountains I've ever seen. The tallest is Mount Birwa with an elevation of 556 meters. If you want to see them from the air, you can take a scenic plane tour to witness these unique mountains. After, we're going to visit Whitehaven Beach. Regularly voted as one of the best beaches in the world, Whitehaven Beach is located on the Whitsunday Island, and you can reach it by taking a boat or seaplane. The boat tour is the most affordable option, and you can reach Whitehaven by departing from places such as Airlie Beach or Shute Harbour on the mainland. Once you arrive at Whitehaven, you'll be amazed by the surrounding scenery. The sand is made up of silica, giving it its white color, and when combined with the blue ocean water, it creates this swirly turquoise mix that winds back into the island's inlet, and it's just incredible to look at. You can get an elevated view of the area from the Hill Inlet Lookout. I mean, this place is on another level. Another incredible destination on the nearby mainland is Cape Hillsborough National Park. Now, when I imagine Australia, kangaroos on the beach always come to mind, and Cape Hillsborough is one of the best places in the country to see them roaming on the coast. If you want the best chances of seeing them, you can wake up around 5 a.m. to witness the kangaroos and wallabies on the beach for sunrise. I mean, it's such an incredible setting with the rising sun and the kangaroos feeding on the mangrove sea pods and seaweed. After, we're going to head back to the ocean to visit probably one of the most famous places in Australia, the Great Barrier Reef. It's located in the northeastern coast of Australia, and it's the biggest reef system in the world, stretching over 2,300 kilometers. It can be seen from space and is the world's largest structure made by living organisms. It's easy to see why it's one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It's home to over 10% of all the ocean's fish species, and there's also plenty of whales and sharks. I mean, it would be a dream to scuba dive here one day. A potential city to access the Great Barrier Reef from is Cairns. It's located near some of the most prime coral reefs and islands of the Great Barrier Reef, and you can reach it by taking a 40-minute boat ride from Cairns. Afterwards, we're going to head up north to visit the Daintree Rainforest. Located about a 3-hour drive from Cairns, the Daintree Rainforest is a combination of massive mountains, pristine beaches, and possibly the oldest rainforest in the world, which began over 110 million years ago. The rainforest is home to animals such as the southern cassowary, and I particularly like the area around Cape Tribulation. I mean, just so scenic with mountains covered in lush vegetation. It's definitely one of my favorite places in Australia when it comes to natural beauty. After, we're going to head back to Australia's cities to visit Sydney.
Hi everyone, let's have a look at this spacious 3 BHK plus porch plus main room